Okay, y'all, let's pull a reading, shall we? It's already shuffled. It took forever to shuffle, but what I'd like to do today is a reading on new loves, a reading on what's your prospects, especially for 2025, this coming new year. What does love look like? And I might do a pick a card as well later, but I just wanted to sort of give a general overview. I asked the universe, what do my readers have to look forward to in terms of finding new love? Okay, so what do you have to look forward to? The sun underneath. The sun. We're using a very spicy deck today, the Fuego deck, and we're going to clarify with the Santa Muerte deck. So this will probably be a spicy reading. All right, we're going to do 5 cards. The Knight of Pentacles. You put some time into yourself, have you? Have you figured out what you want? Put some time into yourself, and now you know what you want a little bit better. Well, it's coming to you, I think. The Magician. The Empress in the middle. Unbelievable. Judgment. Somebody's getting a karmic reward, and I don't ever say that. Wow. No wonder it took me 20 minutes to shuffle, y'all. Okay. Wow. Somebody is getting a karmic reward for, let's just say, experiences in love that didn't seem like they either ended well or they were for the greater good. But, okay, I'm not going to digress too much, but there's instances I see here where the intention of my reader, y'all, was very good during your past experiences with relationships, especially romantic relationships. Your intention was very good, if a bit naive. Okay. And here we are now past those experiences. Maybe you're just ending some, maybe you've been ending them this year, but this education that you've gotten, in regards to what works best for you and what you truly need from a significant other or from a relationship, has been so valuable. And I think you didn't even know what to ask the universe for when you were manifesting. You didn't even know what to ask for before. And now you do. I feel like that's absolutely the truth. So we've got the Sun card underneath. Let's not forget that. Let's put that up here. Okay, that's our bottom card. Amazing. Amazing. I think, the other thing that I'm seeing is this overarching confidence that you have in, like, you've walked through some fire. You've really walked through some fire. You've dealt with people who are maybe emotionally unavailable. Maybe they didn't have you in their best interest. Maybe they were selfish. Maybe it just wasn't the right time. Maybe a lot of things. And your confidence in who you are and carrying yourself through the next chapter of your life or the next experiences is so strong. It's like, where did this person come from? Well, and I think you're going to see some reward from it. I'm not seeing that right away. Let's get into the clarifiers, because this is all about you. This is not about your new love. So let's check it out. Let's check it out. Why is the 8 of Pentacles here? What does that bring to my viewer? Definitely, of course, if you're new to tarot, there's a lot about harvest energy here. A lot about this build-up. Everything that you've done to get to this place unknowingly. Like, you've just been living your life, right? You've just been trying to find love. in all the wrong places, and you've been living your life and trying to make the best of it, I'm assuming, without any sort of like, or maybe a little, but without a grand scheme, sort of greater good, like someday I'm going to be able to use this kind of energy, but even then it's there. I don't know if that makes sense. I've had a lot of caffeine this morning. All right, why is the Eight of Pentacles here? Again, take what resonates with you. Kind of try to discard the rest, or listen to the rest, because it could mean something for you in the future. I did have the Two of Swords kind of went out. That is one thing about this deck, is it definitely has a mind of its own. Also, all readings are influenced at the very least by the reader and the time in which they're pulled. So no reading is going to come out of a vacuum. Also, a lot of things can happen between when this was pulled and when it reaches you. All right, so we have Justice on the bottom. Again, more of this sort of karmic, the Hierophant, the Six of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. That's a lot of pentacles. There's definitely this strong reward, karmic, like justice, karmic balance. It's like a, it's like an audit. It's like balancing the books. That's all I'm getting. It's very straightforward. It's balancing the books. And a lot of that has to do, I think, with, pentacles don't always mean a material possession. Sometimes they mean a wealth of integrity, of knowledge, of intelligence, and things learned. And that's what this is now. This is, of course, there's no greater education than that we learn in relationships. So, wow. Okay. Still nothing about your new love, all about you. The universe is being very tricky right now, but it is overwhelmingly like, yes, it's almost like it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter who comes into your life at this point, because of this confidence, whether a person comes into your life in 2025 or not, you're going to be okay. You're going to be more than okay. It's almost like it really is true that, like, whoever comes into your life should, sort of augment your life. And definitely you're not going to depend on that person for anything, which is good. That's where it should be. A partnership is like that. They're there when you need them, and you're there when they need you. And there is a mutual love and respect and understanding of how each other moves and operates and the perspective they have in the world. And you try to help them become their best self. And they do the same for you, without any obligation or expectations, right? That's what it is. Just make each other's lives better. Oh, the Knight of Wands. We're pulling on the Magician right now, and the cards are being very spicy. I think, if anything, with the Knight of Wands, I think, if anything, there's a perspective shift when you're looking for this person. How do I put this? It's like you have the education, the resources, the experience, and the self-actualization to know what you want. I wonder if we get a Seven of Cups, because your discernment, it's almost like your discernment has taken a little bit of a step back. Like, it's just, I don't want to say it's a free-for-all, but it kind of is. It's like, whatever, here's this confident person moving through life, making connections with people, unchained to the idea that there has to be one specific person out there that they have to meet and settle down with, because that's antiquated and silly, right? So I'm playing, a role here. So my point is that there's, I see you dipping your toes into a lot of pools. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Page Cups, yeah, and the Seven of Swords. Interesting. Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, okay. So with the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Wands, just be careful. As you're out there in the world having fun and meeting new people, represent yourself with authenticity, because you are that confident person. And it can be tempting to maybe play roles just like I did, which is why I probably did, to play a role that maybe, what I'm saying is if you come across the right person and you're sort of in this playful, flirty, 2025 is going to be my year. I'm going to meet a lot of great people, and you're into this sort of space where you're just engaging with the world in a casual, playful way, and someone comes into your life who is really important, and you have this sort of, you don't take it seriously. You're sort of in this space of this projection. And maybe there's a little bit of sleight of hand and a little bit of deception, and maybe you're not quite vulnerable because you're still a little in pain from what's happened before. Just maybe sit with it for a minute and really meditate on everybody who comes into your world, and maybe take a step back and really do a little audit and have a perception shift if you can. And I would say don't be too performative. It's going to be really tempting, because you can come from a place of authenticity, and you can come from a place of genuine interest, curiosity, playfulness, flirtation, and also still be a little bit performative. You know what I mean? And then when shit gets real, and when you find out it's somebody that you really, really like, then you're like, oh, I've slightly misrepresented myself. And now, I kind of have to walk it back a little bit and be me. Otherwise, this is going to escalate and spiral into this mess, right? Is it just me? Have y'all been there? Okay. So, so that is what the magician would tell us. Be careful of the roles that you're playing. Be respectful of other people, of course. I know you are. And watch out for the fun sort of performative aspect of flirtation and seduction and this new experience of meeting people that you're going to have in 2025. I've been doing a lot of singles readings lately, but this is not a singles reading. This is for people who are looking for other people. So, I cast no judgment. I personally wouldn't do it, but it is what it is. All right. And that's when she lost all of her followers. All right, the Empress. The Empress. Why is the Empress here? This is just that confidence that I've been talking to you about. It's about the places that you've been and the self-actualization that makes you so comfortable in being who you are now. It's the, she gives 0 Fs, right? All right, strength The Nine of Pentacles. The Two of Cups. Yeah, it's through this feminine energy and through this nurture, through this maybe even connection to nature, that we really find, if you're looking for the one, that we really find the one. So if you are on an intentional journey right now, I'm pulling on everybody who's going to watch this. So there's a lot coming up. But if you are on an intentional journey and you're not being playful and you're being more if you're thinking more and being more considerate about who you want to be with, I would say specifically turn to that nurture side of yourself. That's what's going to attract this soulmate or whomever comes into your life. Have that feminine energy, have that connection with nature. You might even meet this person in that type of setting, like botanical gardens or a park or walking your dog. You might meet this person out there in nature. And I think, representing yourself as this goddess, empress is going to go a long way in attracting them. I would also say connection, and that immediate connection and not unguardedness that we tend to have, especially when meeting a new person, especially for women or folks who identify with feminine energy. It can be intimidating and almost scary when we meet new people, especially out in the wild, because the fear is very real of whether this person, masculine energy, is going to take care of us or going to hurt us. And it seems like those are the only two, options. And based on experience and how old you are, that fear and that threat can be very, very real. So as much as you can, I would recommend that you be open to trusting this person. When you see red flags, obviously, you're going to want to tap the brakes. But in the meantime, be very open. If you're meeting someone in person, and listen to your instincts, give them the benefit of the doubt, try to be open and not closed off, try not to be guarded. And I think that's going to show itself in your communication too. So watch your body language. Don't cross your arms. Watch your communication. Make sure it's engaging and you're asking questions, and you're, smiling and all that. And I'm not sure exactly why I have to tell you these very, basic, flirting 101 classes in session, but this is what comes to me, so I think there's some of you who need to hear it. Okay. So, Empress, very positive, very positive. Let that nurture guide your communication. Yeah. Let nurture guide your communication. But I think that one is out there for many of you. The meeting is going to take place in nature, and I don't know where you are in the world, but maybe it's on a ski slope. Maybe it's at the top of Everest. I don't know. It depends. It's wintertime, right? At least in the Northern Hemisphere. I know I have a lot of viewers in Australia too, so shout out to Australia. But yeah, it could be winter, could be summer, whatever it is. Be outside in 2025. You could meet some really cool people. All right, Judgment. Why is Judgment here exactly? What other aspect of this? People looking for love in 2025 do we have to see? This is where things get a little bit serious. Okay. I'm not even going to I mean, I'm going to shuffle and I'm going to give you clarifiers, but right away it's like, this is another group of people. Maybe, you know, we're all multifaceted, so maybe it's you too, but maybe all of this is one person. Yeah. But right now, especially in 2025, there's going to be really quick karma. So you're going to see somebody do something, you know, sort of against the grain or selfish or against the law or whatever. And they're going to get a pretty quick karmic lesson. So it's a tiny bit of a warning from the universe in regards to that. It's definitely don't fuck around with people. Don't play with them or their emotions. Be honest. You know, stealing someone's time if you're not interested in them, for example, that's really playing out here in terms of, you know, dating, because if you're lonely and you meet someone who really likes you and you're just spending time with them because you like the attention and you're lonely, that's just as bad as like doing something intentionally against this person, because you really are wasting their time. And their heart too, right? So yeah, so if you're finding that someone's developing feelings for you that you don't reciprocate, be wary that there is this very quick karmic turnaround, this system of debts and credits that's very quick. So, you know, nip it in the bud and say, you know what, I just realized I don't, you know how to gracefully break it with someone, right? All right, I hope so. So on the bottom, the bottom card is the Fool. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. We have the Six of Wands. Okay. The Sun returning from this deck. And the Four of Cups. Yeah, absolutely. I think the real threat that you have is maybe a temptation to say to someone, oh my gosh, yeah, this is amazing. You know, set a next date, you know, kind of go along with them and really like, make it a bigger deal than it is, kind of feeding off their energy of how much it means to them. Yeah, it's fun, but not only might you miss out on the one that you're meant to be with, but that other person is going to be crushed if you continue this. So it's a little bit of a warning, okay? Just you know, don't express, just like you're confident here, right? You're confident, you're in control, you know what you want. And then don't let something come along that you're not super into, but that's kind of exciting. Don't let that seduce you into making it a big deal, right? Okay. That's tough. But you also gotta have faith in the universe. Is that your person? Well, if you don't think so, what are you doing? Right? You can have a little fun, but if they're starting to get serious about stuff, already calling you wifey, that's a dangerous situation. You're going to hurt somebody. And then you're going to stop yourself from meeting the person, and you don't want to backslide. You're a confident person. Stay in your feminine energy. Be compassionate, and don't get too excited and painting things golden. All right, sorry about the dog barking, but we're going to pull for the Hangman and then we're done anyway. And I can't believe I'm already done with the shuffle, but I am. We've got the Empress on the bottom of the Hangman. Yeah, your new perspective. The Ace of Swords. Yeah, the Five of Cups. Yeah, so get out of your goddamn head when you get into it. Don't overthink it. Play from your heart, like work from your heart, because you could, in the middle of the year, I'm saying, in summertime, maybe sooner, maybe spring, it's different for all of you, but there's definitely this feeling where maybe we're getting out of our empress and we're thinking about things too much. Maybe you've got a lot of suitors happening in the summer. Maybe there's a lot of guys after you, or girls, or whatever. Maybe there's a lot of people in your life, okay? And that fan represents a lot to me. It is okay. Just take a deep breath and keep on going. Don't overanalyze this. Until you're deciding between proposals for marriage, or until you've moved in with somebody, this is not a serious game, people. This is all about finding out who you are and how you relate to other people without intentionally hurting someone, right? So that's the lesson that the universe has for you, is you've really got to stay out of the fives. And how do you get into the fives? How do you get into the Five of Wands? How do you get into the Five of Cups? How do you get into these circles? And use my voice even, like, how do you get into these circles of overthinking, overanalyzing, heartbreak? This sort of like, how do you get wound up overthinking? So yeah, just try and take it easy. Be yourself. If you find yourself sitting there trying to compose a text message that's perfect and it doesn't come naturally, and you keep typing it out and then erasing it and typing it out and erasing it, I can guarantee you that person is not for you. So just pay attention to your instincts. Pay attention to your instincts. No one is worth that level of overanalyzing, of anxiousness. The right person, when they come into your life, and then later, that's the important part, right? When they come into your life, everybody's amazing and sparkly and new, right? Unless you don't have a pulse, right? So everybody's exciting, and then you get a couple months in. That's where the real test is. Do they make you anxious? And by summer, I think some of these people are making you anxious, and it's time to cut bait. Really, honestly, like this perspective that I hope that you'll have, this shift in perspective. I mean, you're going to be able to weed out the folks that aren't meant for you, because you'll start seeing them in that light, and you'll start analyzing text messages, and you'll start feeling a certain way, right? You could be nauseous when you think about them. That's a bad sign. Nausea is not a good sign of love, It's really not. Maybe of a karmic connection, maybe of lust, if you're kept away from that person, maybe of, you could be feeling all kinds of physical feelings. You could be feeling all types of emotional ways. Look to the actions of this person and then how they make you feel. I think that you could avoid yourself a lot of heartbreak in this new perspective if you go ahead and cut ties with them. If it was meant for you, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. Yes, you're going to have struggles with people. Yeah, of course. People aren't going to be who you thought they were on day one. No, of course not. But those challenges shouldn't make you sick, and they shouldn't cause that level of anxiety. They should be able to, number one, talk about them. So if you can't communicate through this perspective change, say, hey, you're making this behavior makes me anxious. Like, what are you? Yeah, if you can't communicate that, it doesn't mean that your communication skills are lax. It's just you're feeling a certain kind of way about somebody, and there's a reason for that. So, you could be the greatest orator. You could be the greatest orator of the century. You could have a PhD in communication from Harvard. But people can still, especially people that you feel a connection to, can still trip you up to the point where you don't know if you're communicating correctly, because the result, the action that's coming out of that communication is not what you expect. It's okay. It's not you. It's them. So be careful. Be careful, especially mid-year, depending on when you watch this or what's going on. Sometime in the future, as the honeymoon phase ends, as you see flaws in these people that you're meeting, do a check. Do an internal check. But then once you've done the internal check, stop thinking about it. So think about it, really think about it, and then stop. And go based off of what you thought and your internal feelings, your guts. What do your guts say about this? Wow, that's a lot going on. There's a lot of you. There's a lot of you here. A lot of you. So I would say overall, yes, this was a looking for love reading. This was a 2025 reading. But overall, don't let yourself get bogged down, distracted, or otherwise preoccupied by this. I think that's the huge lesson from the universe. When I pull a reading, it's like, yeah, Rose, here you go. But if these folks get too distracted, they're going to lose all of the momentum that they've gotten over this last year of this healing. Yeah. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. And being alone is actually pretty cool. And so feel free to sort of lounge in that beautiful, basking, confident, wonderful state of being that is yourself. Okay. That's it, y'all. Have a fantastic whatever this is, and thanks for watching.